What is going on, everyone? Welcome to the third edition of Smooth Conversations, where the conversations are not just smooth, it's good therapy. I am your boy Smooth. It's a pleasure to be back on your screens as we are exclusively on YouTube at Smooth Conversations. Give us that follow, give us that like. Thank you all for tuning in. Have another exciting show in store for you. Once again, this is the third edition. This is something I've been wanting to do for quite some time, and about to be 3 shows in now, and I'm glad I did it because we're able to get even more and more stories told, and just not an interview style, but just having great conversations with our guests. So go ahead right now, y'all. Hit that like, hit that share. Let's get Smooth Conversations on YouTube popping. And also, it is Smooth with 3 O's. So if you go on YouTube and put in Smooth with 2 O's, you ain't gonna see the page. So Smooth with 3 O's conversation on YouTube, and let's have a great time. Shouts out to my boy, my Smooth Productions fam, holding things down his first time as a producer. My boy Sadal, the selector, the real estate DJ. Shouts out to him. So if he messes up a little bit, don't charge it. Don't charge it to his heart. You know what I'm saying? He's doing this thing. He's doing this thing. But no, he learned on the fly. They're going to make things happen. But we're going to have a great show because I have an incredible, I ain't even call it guest, man. This is fam. Even from day one. And we're going to talk about how we met and from back then to what we're doing now. She's a mother. She's a wife. She is a power player in the St. Louis area. Just last week, I think by this time last week, she was out the country doing some big things. We talk about that and so much more. She was the Renaissance before Beyonce had the Renaissance album out. Okay, I'm saying it because that's the fam. And she's going to have her story told. And we also want to have so many people to leave comments so we can read it. We can interact with you all. If you have questions, you want to give her flowers, this is the show to do so on Smooth Conversations. She's ready, and we're going to have a good time and have a good conversation with Myrina Renaissance Otey-Myton. Come on through. What is going on, family?
Where my music at?
Where the music at? Yes.
I put these in right.
Yep. Make sure. Can you hear it good, Sadal?
Can you hear me okay?
Let me see.
Producer.
let me check your transmitter and make sure that you on your transmitter that's hooked up to your.
Oh.
Make sure everything is good to go. Oh, that's why. Let's see.
They can't hear me.
All right, now say something.
Can you hear me? Am I speaking your language?
Let me see what's going on with her volume.
How this look? I look like I'm supposed to go clean up, don't I?
That was it. Keep on saying something.
I'm trying to fix my scarf.
There we go. Now they can hear you.
All right.
There we go. So you got to make sure that she's right before we, get this conversation going. So, Myrina Renaissance,
what's up?
How you doing?
I'm good.
I'm tripping. We live. We doing it. We got to show love. Like I said, this is fam. This is fam right here, y'all. And we're gonna definitely dig into why we fam. But first, we gotta have a salute. So she has her sparkling strawberry daiquiri. She's not doing anything wrong. Just for anyone who's watching, she ain't no liquor. You know what I'm saying? She nursing. And then I got my own concoction here, my amaretto sour. So I'm about to go ahead and
see, I'm trying to get like you.
So I gotta go ahead and do my thing here.
I want to grow up.
She's I want to grow up.
I don't want to be a Toys R Us kid. It's crazy to think that kids these days don't even know what Toys R Us is.
Now I heard they were coming back though.
Well, that'll be good.
But who knows? I don't know if that was fake news or not. But I heard that they're trying to bring that back.
I take my kids just to play.
Right.
Sightseeing and we leave and we ain't buying nothing.
Remember KB? KB toy stores? Wow. Man, back in the day. So cheers to us. Cheers to many, many, many past and future success.
Absolutely.
Because we doing our thing.
Absolutely.
And the best thing about it, as I get my sip on, is that we're putting more time into things that we love to do.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Absolutely.
I was told this years ago. It's like, and no shade or no knock on those who do 9 to 5. Like I said, I have my 9 to 5 as well. But it's like, why do we always put so much of everything into a 9 to 5, but not your own passion? What's your thoughts on that?
Oh, it's kind of interesting. You asked me that. I learned. I was in a workshop called Speak Now the other day, and there was this pyramid. I can't remember who the person is, but anyway, there was like these different levels, and there's one of the levels. The top level is purpose. The second level is I forgot something, and then the other one was like pragmatic, right? But you only extend to these different levels once you reach each one. So pragmatic is like handling your business, your bills, the roof over your head, that type of thing. Then you begin to move like towards your purpose. And so when you ask me that, it makes me think about the fact that no matter what it is that you're doing, whether you're working a 9 to 5 or you are an entrepreneur or you're following your passion, you're always walking in your purpose. And so, I say just continue on doing that.
Yep, there it is. Now, I said earlier how this woman is a mother, is a wife. Now, she also, I come with the photos because you saw what happened this past Wednesday.
I started to ask you what you was going to ask me.
You already know I come with the photos. So she did take some modeling photos, as you can see right here.
Okay, them cute.
So
I'm like, when you said modeling, which ones? Where did you get these? I ain't seen these in so long.
Hey,
the internet.
I can't tell you my sources, but I'll be digging. But just talk about this photo. Put it back on there if you don't mind, producer.
Those were actually my graduation photos when I graduated from the University of Missouri St. Louis in 2018. And that dress was made by Brandon Vaughn, who's a designer here in St. Louis, but he's, definitely getting his international thing on. And I can't remember who did my crown and stuff. But yeah, I took these pictures with Michelle Lewis of Aroused by Art. And so these was my graduation pictures.
So were those like your first time like stepping out like that, taking photos, or have you did something before?
Ooh, that's a good question. I can't remember. I just remember doing it because I didn't want my pictures to be like degular. And I wanted to really channel where I was at this point in my life where, you know, I was getting to know myself and really starting to love myself and appreciate who I was becoming. So this allowed me to kind of step into the one, you know, into my womanhood and be comfortable and confident in that. So you see the sexy leg. Well, I need to find these photos. You need to send this to me.
Got you.
I need to remind people.
Yeah. So yeah, I recall when you you know, took the photos and you were saying how you know, it was a graduation pic. So I'm like, that's what's up. Do your thing. You know, proud of you. So let's start from the beginning in regards to you and I. And correct me if I'm wrong, but I know I recall you first. Oh, wait a minute. My wife, he says, aroused by art. She is so dope.
Yeah, she is amazing. I love Michelle. She was actually my mentor when I picked back up the camera in 2017. She was somebody I learned and studied under for the first year.
Nice, nice. So let's start our story.
Talk about it.
So, man, you know, it's been 15 years.
I was about to say, how long? Let me think. Are you sure?
Yes.
Let me think. Hold on.
I just had 15 years.
No, you. I think you using the years when you was there and I wasn't there. I started at Express Scripts in. It's making me itch thinking about it. Shit. I think 2014, 15, 13, one of those. So it's been like 11, 12 years.
Okay.
Like yeah.
So, okay. I wasn't for sure if I already had years, you know.
You had already been there before I was.
Got you.
Yeah.
Okay.
So I worked in the call center for like a year and then I moved to the training.
Exactly. Yeah. So you was a trainer. And, you know, like we crossed paths. I think I was under a training that you did when I was under a certain program at that time.
Yeah.
But, and this is where Sadal doesn't even know this. I DJ'd at Herb Arts.
Oh, yes, you did.
And you were there. And I saw you.
Yeah.
And I'm like, oh, wait a minute.
Yeah.
I know her from Express Scripts. So then when I saw you at Express Scripts that very next day or, you know, business day, I saw you at Herb Arts. And then all of a sudden, that's when everything just clicked.
Kicking it ever since.
Yeah.
Kicking it ever since. It was always like, I got to go catch Fred. Like, you and one other DJ are one of my favorite DJs in St. Louis that I know if I see y'all name or something like that on the flyer, then I'm going to pop out because I know I'm going to get a good vibe and I'm going to get some good music. And it ain't going to be none of that new stuff that they playing today for real.
Right. Yeah.
It's going to be music I can resonate with, you know, that make me actually feel comfortable twerking to.
and I always appreciate that because, you know, you always be like, Fred, where you playing at? Smooth, you know, what's going on? We got to have you here, you know, whatever. Because like you said, you knew how my vibe was. And I've always been told as a DJ how my vibes be different because, as you said, I don't just play, you know, no shade of Lil Durk and, you know, whatever else. You know, I'm going to play stuff. And it's not just about me, but it's about feeling the energy on who I'm playing with.
But I think you have a wide net too, which is really nice because I know I can bring you to my family reunion and I can bring you to my girls' night.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? And you're going to play music that no matter what the age range is that everybody can vibe to. And so that's, for me, that's what I found to be very beneficial and important in the DJ. And so you do that shit, you do that good.
Yeah, I definitely appreciate
some of them old pictures and videos we used to be kicking it.
If I did, let's see, shouts out. Who
I'm talking about Kimmy New. Yeah, so Kimmy New is a female DJ here in St. Louis, and she's a good friend of mine, but she's dope too. And I really enjoy her music. Yeah,
we've crossed paths a few times, so shouts out. So now he got Philip on there, but that's your husband, right?
Yeah.
Okay. I think I talked to him a couple of days ago. I just came to call work, but no, it's playing. We had an amazing episode on the Platform Sports Talk Show. Make sure y'all subscribe to that page as well on YouTube. The Platform Sports Talk Show. Had Kwame, her husband, her bae, her everything on the show, and it was a great conversation with him.
He did great.
Great conversation.
I called him soon we got off, and I gave him his accolades. He did an amazing job.
Yeah.
He's doing some big things, and I'm just very proud, you know, to be walking with him in that journey, and my connections becoming his connections, and we sharing it, and we, you know, leveraging each other's relationships to build something even better. So
yeah,
it's dope.
Yeah, I love it. I love it. Like I said, love. Talk about y'all, a little bit later on.
Right.
But yeah, like I said, just going back to us, just seeing you do your thing in regards to photography, because that's how I initially, knew about it. Now, did you do a little bit of spoken word too? Like you tried to?
It wasn't a try. I did.
Okay.
And I just, for me, spoken word is one of those things where if I feel like I got something to say, I'm going to say it. Like if it's pressing on my soul to say it, I'm going to say it. I never repeat the same poem more than once. So typically, once it's out there in the air, I probably don't even read it again, but I still write.
And that time I think about spoken word, first spot has to be legacy books.
100%.
And
that's where I did my first.
Because I actually started off before DJing. I was in a band. Shouts out to the Immortal Soul era, and we were the house band every Friday night. And when I pull up, like you talking about, you couldn't find a spot to park unless you got there early.
Yeah.
Like those were the golden days of legacy books and cafe. Now it's what's it called now, Sadal? The new spot. Well, it's still legacy on one half, but the other spot is
yeah,
I can't think of the name.
They did split it.
Yeah, they split it. Yeah,
I can't remember. I haven't been in.
But yeah,
time.
Like I said, it was a whole vibe, and of course, word up.
Yeah.
Word up. Shouts out to Energy. She's still doing her thing right now to this day.
Energy made my wedding rings.
Really?
Yeah, we designed them together, and she made them.
That's dope. Yeah. So shouts out to her.
Some one of a kind original pieces. So one day when I'm no longer here no more, I think my piece is gonna go for quite a bit of money.
Hey, here we go.
That's what we building the brand for.
But yeah, had great times at Word Up. Of course, we had multiple locations for a minute before we got finally steady at Legacy. But some of the best times was when we were downtown off Washington.
Yeah, it's called it's Latte Lounge.
Yeah, now, but back then it was the Rusty Gold.
Yeah. I loved going there. That was a vibe. That was a whole vibe. Like I loved the stage area, the lighting, the vibe. Just the environment itself was really good. The food was bomb.
Yeah.
And then
had the hookah.
I used to go up there with DJ Fred up in the booth.
Right.
Chilling.
Yeah. Speaking of which, are you still cool with Jackie?
I haven't talked to her in a while.
Really?
She got married, and I haven't talked to her in a while.
You won't believe this.
What's that?
But because I'm married, we're actually related. We're cousins.
Your wife is cousins with Jackie?
Yeah. Well, not. It's more so my wife's cousin in Texas. Her name is Karana, and her and Jackie are related.
Wow, how about that?
Right. Right.
World be small.
So small. I was like, wow, that's crazy.
Yeah.
But yeah, going back, that period, that like good month or two that we were there, oh, man.
That was
and then, like you said, being, and I don't mind people coming up to the booth, but I like to be separated and not you always in my face. Hey, So I was able to know what I was doing.
Yeah.
I gotta have my VIP area.
I know, right?
And also the stage, like you said, the lighting was good. Now I understand they at Hot Java now on the south side, and I haven't been there, but from seeing the videos, it looks pretty good. You know what I'm saying? So shouts out to Energy. One
day I'm gonna be able to get back outside.
Yeah.
One day.
I mean, hey, shoot, if I'm not DJing, I'm not really outside either, for real. Me being a husband, father, everything. It's like I got other things going on. You know what I'm saying? So it's like I lived that life. I had that time frame. You know what I'm saying? And
but
as
now
you said,
have somebody you do it with though.
Yes.
Yeah.
That's the thing.
That's the big difference now.
Yeah.
Yeah. That's what feel good too, because you got a friend.
And another era that you and I went through, you and I was part of the Rope brand unit.
Oh. Oh my gosh. I was actually pregnant. But oh my god. That's actually before I went to Fuji. That's crazy. Wow. Yeah. Wow.
So I recall us go meeting at the South Side that spot, and had the whole little photo session and everything, and that was a fun time.
That was wow! Oh my god!
Yeah, that was a fun time. I know that
now she's doing fashion shows on the riverfront.
I saw that,
killing it.
She's doing amazing. Shout out to Keisha. She is doing. I haven't talked to her or seen her in quite some time.
Yeah.
So we got to catch up. But that was when we formed this. At that moment, it was like felt like Voltron / Power Ranger / Transformers. It was like
this is
different styles.
Bring it back. Oh God.
Different styles, but we all came together for one common thing. You know, because we wanted to really blow up together.
Yeah.
Not just.
I still have that shirt. Do you have yours?
Yeah, I still got it. You know, not just one person, but it was like we all as a unit wanted to do something special
together.
You know, and the only thing about this photo, it makes me sad because I feel like we really didn't do the things that we should have done. What's your thoughts on that?
I look at this picture and I see how much power there is. All the potential that we had, we couldn't have guessed that we would be where we all are individually today. But when I think of like the collaborative efforts that I would say were probably missed. Yeah. I agree. This was kind of like we go farther together, but you know, together isn't where we're going right now.
And I ain't gonna lie, because I thought as soon as he put this unit together, I really had high expectations in regards to us just doing a lot. I mean, like, you know, kind of like what Morgan Casey is to St. Louis now.
Yeah.
Like, I thought at that time that was going to be us just bringing in events. You know what I'm saying? While you can come in and do your photography and, you know.
We did have some moments though where we did do some of those things, like role models. You know, we collaborated on role models and did our thing on those shows and some other ones. But I mean, can't cry with spilled milk.
Right.
But I still got love for each one of these people. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
They're still my family. So
that's what's up, man. And which once again makes what our relationship is very cool. You know, we talking about over 10 years.
Yeah, a decade.
You know what I'm saying? And then like you told me before, you went through a period where it was like almost every year you was pregnant.
Yeah. Philip, get back on here.
You was doing your thing.
Yeah, I was pregnant. Very pregnant. Regularly. I ain't pregnant no more.
You say it's a wrap, huh?
Shit. We rapping it like vinyl.
Man. Wrapping it up like, man. So, in regards to photography, because I heard you on a post that you recently had on Instagram that you said that you actually took on photography because your father.
My dad, he taught me I was 10. Yeah, that's when I first picked up the camera.
Nice.
I was up under him, and he used to, my daddy was the picture man. He was picture man Mike. That's what they call him. He was in the clubs, you know, taking pictures on the backdrop. He did events and weddings and stuff like that. So, of course, we couldn't go to the club. We was too young, but he used to have us, you know, manning these types of cameras at his events or at the weddings and stuff like that. So, I started under him.
And rest in peace, because of what he passed away was last year?
November 16th.
Oh, wow. Day before my birthday.
Oh, wow.
Yeah. Wow. Yeah, so definitely rest in peace.
Thank you.
What was the one thing that you remember that he told you as you was younger about being a photographer that you like always kept into your mind?
Make sure the picture's straight. He never wanted the pictures to look crooked. You know, we cropped it, we had to crop it, and it had to be straight. That was the main thing. Always make sure the picture is straight. That's the main thing I remember. So even when I do like my edits now, And I do my crop. Sometimes I get a little funky with a separate crop, but I know how to crop the hell out of the picture. Because, I know how to do it and transform and stuff because of that training. But always making sure it was straight. Yeah, that was a big thing.
Yeah.
When we be on site or whatnot, like on location for the shoots, just checking in with the cameras. I still have one of his camcorders that I learned on. I use it now for my family home videos, but I still have that. So yeah, I miss my daddy. I had when I picked back up the camera in 2017 and I told him about it, he always wanted, he just kept on pushing, like, get in the clubs, you're gonna make a lot of money, but the club scene wasn't where I wanted to be. I'm a woman, I'm not comfortable with the extras, so I didn't want to do that. And so doing photo shoots and stuff, I would send him my shoots. I'd be like, Daddy, look, I did this one. How you like it? That type of thing. And he'd be like, it look good. But I feel like, with my company and stuff, I just took it a different direction than what, he could have imagined. So in 2022, during my first exhibition at the Dark Room, was the first time he was able to see my work. And like on the wall and printed and stuff. And we went to LaToya Sharin's concert. She was performing while my work was up, and it was a cool night, So I got a chance to do that with him. And awesome. That was validating for me.
Yeah.
Be like, okay, Daddy, look. So you taught me something when I was younger, but look how I'm doing it. You know what I'm saying? So as I think about my next generation, it don't have to be my kids, it can be my grandkids, whatever. I hope one of them pick up the camera.
Yeah.
They don't have to do it like I do, but I just hope one of them pick it up,
Right. So explain the name Renaissance TJs.
Renaissance. Okay, so in 20 man, you got the dates, Lord. 2016, somewhere around there. So in 2016 or 17, I Mike Brown, Ferguson happened. I lived in Ferguson. Actually, we lived around the corner from each other. So I lived in Ferguson, and I had got fired from Express Scripts, for a bunch of BS. But anyway.
But now, thank you.
Right. But I didn't want to be, dependent on a job anymore. It was the first time I had been really close to racial injustice happening, and I had children at the time, so it was kind of like, dang, what if that was my child type of deal? And I wanted to, rediscover myself, my history, understand what my Blackness meant, that type of thing. And so I came up with, it was actually January 1st of that year, I decided to become Renaissance. And Renaissance was, just a rebirth. I'm no longer the same person, because once you know something, you can't unknow it, right? And I feel like, especially when it comes to things like racial injustice, we have a duty to, find a way to react to it and, be proactive and whatever the case may be. So my way of doing that was through Black business. Just pushing Black business, supporting Black businesses, finding ways to build my own Black business, that type of thing. And so that's where Renaissance came from. But then when I picked back up the camera, it wasn't at the same time. It was kind of close in time period. But when I picked it back up and I was like freelance, and I'm like, dang, I don't want the company to be named after me. What could it be? So, and having those thoughts about my dad, now me being a second gen, at the time I only had 3 children. So that was my 3rd gen.
Got you.
So that's where TJS came from.
Got you. And you brought up something about you, after Express Scripts fired you, and you decided, like, you know what, I'm gonna take a different path in life. You know what I'm saying? I'm gonna take that leap of faith, that step out. What is your advice to those now who may be in between, like, man, should I keep the 9 to 5 going, or should I pursue my passion and take the leap of faith? What would be your advice to those who may be watching right now or may see this later on? What would you tell them in regards to the mindset that you want to have before making that big step?
That's an interesting question, because probably in the beginning of my phase of entrepreneurship, I probably would have told people just do it. But now it's kind of like
the world's different.
It is different, and it's still just do it, but like have strategy with it.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Because even though my journey was just do it, and I just jumped in, and the strategy came way later. Right, I just started building strategy for my business in 2022. I've been doing it full time since 2017. So that's 5 years. And what is, statistically speaking, they say in the first 5 years, you ain't making no money, that type of deal. But today it would definitely do it, but have some strategy, like figure out how, like who you want to be within your business. Is your business going to be centered around you? Will it, will it not be centered around you as a person? Set some revenue goals, really understanding your audience. Like I didn't know what I wanted to shoot, who I wanted to shoot. I knew I needed to build a portfolio, and I had to go on a journey of discovery until eventually I started noticing what was, piquing my interest. And that's what I started to build my niche around, which was Black women, Black love, Black people. In the most positive facets of life. So that's how that really came about.
Were there any people that you had in your life while you were starting the business by yourself that you were like gravitating to or getting pointers from or learning how to do this from that?
Yeah, so Michelle was one of them with the Rouse by Art. She was one of them, my mentor. I learned from her in the first year. I was actually dating someone back then at the time. He was a friend, and I actually knew him from kindergarten. And he was also a photographer as well. And so we were kind of feeding off each other's creative energy for a while. But for the most part, after that, it was YouTube and practice. Like
YouTube University.
And just going out there trying what I'm seeing on YouTube. I'll say this, I hated photography when I first started. Like when I was growing up with my dad and doing it, I ain't like it. And it could be because I didn't want to work. Like I just want to be a kid, I don't want to work a job. But so yeah, I didn't like it. And when I picked it back up, I didn't think I would then, but then I started seeing things differently, and I was like, okay, these aren't rose-colored glasses anymore. I have a duty when I pick this camera up. So to tell a story, what is that story going to be? And I got sick of seeing stuff on social media that showed us Black people in a negative light. So I wanted to be somebody that put out positive imagery of us. So that was my why, really.
Now I know it doesn't like compare to, let's say playing sports or maybe like even being a DJ. But I think about like you and energy, being a woman in a certain field.
Yeah.
How is it as a Black woman in your field? So you got that, you had that, like you got a story to tell. So
can you turn the camera
off? She got a story to tell. Let's go ahead and talk about it. But no, yeah, I mean, this what it's for. Oh, I got you. Hold on. Oh yeah. So no, go ahead, keep it on her for a second. So you go ahead.
Okay,
you go ahead and explain.
A woman in this field. All right, let's get into it. One of the main reasons why I definitely found my niche quicker in photography was because there were a lot of men who were capturing women, in particularly in a sexual demeanor, and I was not comfortable with that anymore. I just got tired of looking at it, and I'm like, man, all men photographers creeps? It started to give me those vibes, and it made me question, like, are there women photographers out here who make women feel comfortable and empowered about their bodies, and encourage poses that are, feminine and not raunchy? Does that exist? But then also I'll go to like events and stuff, fashion shows, and I'm the only woman in the cockpit. or in the pit, period. And so, just having to use my voice a lot stronger than I probably normally would have in any other field, to say, hey, I need space, or just feeling like the need to command my space. That was finding my voice in photography has been quite the journey. It still is. I go and shoot these massive concerts now. I just did something really dope now, and I mean, I'm literally the only brown person in my field in the cockpit, period, man or female. But I'm the only woman, and then I'm the only black woman, and I'm the only black person. So I'll say this: some days I still look at some of the content on social media, and I recognize that, as someone who is, I believe that I am very skilled in my field. I still look at it and I'd be like, dang, why do men still get majority of the bookings and the jobs and stuff like that? And I'll be honest enough to say that that's kind of one of the reasons why I don't share a lot about my personal life as a mom, because I feel like people could discredit, my title, and associate that as a reason to believe that I can't do my job, or I don't have the capacity to do my job. If you've seen images of me on social media, a lot of times I've wrapped my baby around me and I'm moving that equipment just like somebody who's probably just carrying a big ass belt. A fat photographer, you know what I'm saying? So no shade to anybody that's fat and a photographer. I'm not body shaming, but I'm just saying, like, I still carry it and do what I have to do. And so that does, put me in a space where sometimes I don't want to share that, because I'm like, oh, people may think that I can't do it.
Right. She got so and so amount of kids, but ain't no way she can be available to on the spot.
Yeah. So like now I'm more intentional about the type of jobs that I take. I seek higher ticketed jobs right now, because although I do love my everyday, daily average people, those are my favorite shoots. Like, I really enjoy them. They don't come in as much, number one, but then number two, they are more laborious. So if I get a bigger contract, that's kind of carrying me a little bit longer than, just my standard photo shoot type of deal.
What about this? What's the word I want to say? It pretty much how they say St. Louis don't support
I don't believe
each other. Okay, so you feel differently about that?
Yeah, I don't believe that. I think in the beginning of my journey, I did, but hindsight speaking, it wasn't. I don't think it was necessarily that St. Louis didn't support me, because St. Louis gave me the opportunity to learn and become better at my craft. Shooting people who was paying me $50 for a photo shoot was another opportunity for me to enhance my skill and to practice. So I wouldn't say that St. Louis doesn't support their own. In the moments where I was not getting those bigger getting more bookings and stuff in the beginning of my career, it could be just because I wasn't as skilled as somebody may have wanted me to be, or my brand story wasn't telling them that I was the person that could probably capture, their vision. So those could be also reasons. But like, when I step outside and I go in the city, I feel nothing but love. I don't feel like people won't support me. I do feel like, of course, people get cliquey, that type of thing, but I don't think that's going to change. That's the culture of the city, period.
Something that we always bring up on the show, and shouts out to my co-host who couldn't be here on the show tonight, Countess Danielle, host of her own Not Your Average Therapy, but collaboration versus competition. What are your thoughts on that? On that phrase right there?
I think competition is necessary. I think it's motivating, and I think it's empowering. And I know in our culture, we have this tendency to not really want to be in that space, but it's fun. I'm a competitive person. It's fun to me, you know. Collaboration, I'm a master collaborator. My project that I work, Herman and Rain, you know, that's collaborated with over 65, 70 Black women in the last 4 years. So collaboration is at the pinnacle of what it is that I do. I need collaborators. I am not the expert at all things. I know how to do what I know how to do, and that's what I want to be good at, and that's where I want to stay, is in my lane. But you get to be in the space where, you know, your product and your quality of your product enhances because you put other people who are great at what they do in position to execute with you.
Right.
So no, I don't want to take on all the roles.
And I'm glad you said that, because that's definitely how I feel with Smoooth Productions.
Yeah.
And like, you know, yes, I'm marketing myself, brand myself as Mr. Jack of all trades. Yes, I can do a lot of things, but I know I ain't gonna be the best in it. And I ain't worried about trying to be the best in everything that I do.
Yeah.
But then I also have Sadal who can
DJ
a certain genre of music in a more than what I can. Then I got my boy DJ Steve Jenks. He a Chi-Town DJ. So he brings a different flavor. You know, but we all, like you said, collab together to bring something magical for 4 hours of your life.
Yeah,
you know what I'm saying?
Happy when you collaborate.
Yeah.
Like your end result, your customer outcomes, your, you know, my reviews. Like I got hella reviews on Google. I have clients write reviews all the time, and one of the main things they talk about is how I brought a team, you know, to take care of them. A big part of my business plan is to give our everyday people who are seeking photo shoots experiences like what they see celebrities have. So if the celebrity is on Instagram and they showing you their process, 9 times out of 10 they got a hairstylist, they got a makeup artist, they got all of those things, and then you got a creative assistant with them and a photographer. And so I do what I can to provide that to everyday people at an affordable rate. Now, people who do pay for it, they are very happy that they pay for it because they don't have to worry. It's like walking into the set of, quote unquote, a barbershop where you know you in community. You got women that's going to hype you up. You got women that's going to look and make sure you ain't looking crazy. We're going to empower you. We're going to listen to music together. We're going to turn up and we're going to take these pictures and go on about our day. But then we've established connections that's going to last forever. So that's really at the root of what it is that I do. So when I think about collaboration versus competition, to me, it's not a versus. I think you need competition in order to empower collaboration, to be honest.
Love it.
It motivates me. Shit. I'm very competitive. My husband knows.
y'all be the house together. Like, okay,
he ain't trying to get back in the pit with the air hockey or
call them out. Watch out, Kwame.
None of that.
But before we continue,
as
a sound engineer, I want to do one thing. So, do me a favor, hit the very top slide again, and then hit mute. All right. Had to take care of a little sound thing. I wanted to make sure something was better.
Sound check.
There we go.
1,
All
2,
right.
3.
There it is. All right. So, but now.
Do, re, mi, fa, sol, la, ti, do.
Right. Do, re, mi, fa. Let's talk about your photography skills.
Yeah.
I want to show this photo right here. So.
Oh yeah.
I saw this. I'm like, that's
Kwame's sister.
Really? See, I didn't even know. But I saw the photo and I was like, this is a perfect photo that I want to use to kind of like, for everyone watching right now, just to kind of see the skills that you possess. But when you look at photos and before you have that finished product, like, okay, this is it. What are you looking for as a photographer?
When you say finished product, what you mean?
So pretty much you're doing the editing, you're doing everything else. And then before you say, here you go to your client, this is the finished product, what is your thought process before you say, okay, you know what, I'm done with it. I did all I could with this photo.
Light, I'm definitely looking at light. I'm looking at the reaction of the subject. What is the feeling that the subject may be evoking? The pose. You know, is everything in place in the picture? This was back when I was actually building sets, so I was learning how to build sets. But I haven't built a set in a long time. But yeah, just those main things, like what is the storytelling? So for me, when I look at this picture, you know, I'm looking at this like it's happy holidays, right? It's a jolly time to be alive during Christmas. You know, we're about to enter into, but then it's also getting real sexy. So, and I like sexy.
So speaking of sexy, have you done a lot of like what you call it, boudoir shoots?
Boudoir.
But yeah, boudoir shoots.
Yep, but I don't never post those because I respect my clients. Yeah, I respect their decisions. A lot of times when a woman reaches out to me to do a boudoir shoot, it's because she is definitely trying to embody herself and self-love. And so I like to cherish that and, respect that. Those pictures are for her.
So, have you had males come to you like, I want to do
no,
you ain't doing it, huh?
I didn't say I wouldn't do it, but I've never.
They haven't approached you. Mm-hmm. Okay, and before you did your first one, and you can take the photo off it all. Before you did your first shoot, did you have to kind of have a certain mind frame, like, okay, this is not my normal typical photo shoot. This is something different. Did you have to kind of be comfortable and let the client be comfortable first before y'all start taking shots and everything?
Yeah, so I typically do that like in my discovery call, and then I'll do a follow-up call just depending on how much time we have between the session. But I'm usually like in my discovery calls and my consultations, I'm talking to my client like an everyday person. Mm-hmm. And I have questions because I need to get to know who they are, get a vibe, get a feel for who, that type of thing. But yeah, I think like one of the main questions I ask during a discovery call is I ask my client to give me 3 to 4 adjectives that describe who they are. Then that allows me to build a story. When I build a story, I can then build a visual. When I build the visual, then I can communicate that to the client. I actually put it together in a full situation. And then they can actually picture themselves in it. And so, yeah.
And I mean, that's how I am with clients, weddings or whatever. I want to get an idea of who you are and the kind of music that you like to have, because I'm not going to I don't want to just play what I feel like I want to play.
Yeah.
I want to get a vibe of who you are. So yeah. I'll have certain clients like, hey, email me a playlist or just a few songs, just so I can kind of get an idea. Oh, okay, you like the old school with, you like MJ, you like Babyface, you like Candy Rain, whatever. Or then you might have some that say, they'll be sprinkling a little bit of Sexy Red every now and then, but I still want to hear some, Mary J. Blige, stuff like that. So I want to be, like you said, I want to have that that relationship.
Yeah, I do that with my clients too. The music.
Yeah,
because I like to like turn on the radio or something that they like to listen to. I don't judge them. If that's what they want to listen to, that's what they want to listen to. Well, but I turn up with them.
I can relate because I did a photo shoot with you with my former partner.
That was probably in the beginning of when I first started working in a studio.
There it is.
It was. Oh my gosh! These are so. You know what's funny? I've been thinking about doing a post of how it started versus how it's going. Because when I opened up the Renaissance CJS Studios, when I opened that up in 2020 during COVID,
right.
That was really my first time getting to know how to use light and work in a studio setting. And so opening up a studio taught me a lot about light. So this was the beginning phases of me learning how to use light. That's crazy.
Yeah.
That's crazy. Yo, you so extra. I knew you was going to pull some shit out the woodwork. You got me all over the place emotionally, though.
Hey, that's why I said about this show. It's not just about this conversation being smooth, but it's good therapy. So
big time.
That's what it's about. And
big time.
Like you said, you want to know, hey, what kind of vibe you want? Y'all want for, the session. You know what I'm saying? And
I probably should have sent you this one. This was last week.
Oh yeah. You definitely should send me that. I mean, hey, we can find a way to have it shown on the camera. I can make that happen. But we'll talk about that soon too. But yeah, just the atmosphere. It was like one of my first, maybe it was my first time going to like an actual, studio session that you had, and I was honored to be a part of it. Yeah. That was during my smooth motivation period. But it was a cool photo shoot. And then not only did you do the photo shoot for me, but you also
the video.
You also did this. Wednesday night Sports Delight, the platform sports talk show. When it's about sports,
it becomes our business.
And business just picked up.
It's your boy Smoooth,
B Baker, Northside's finest.
It's your boy Stan, baby.
Every Wednesday at 7 o'clock p.m. Central Standard Time on Facebook, Twitter, and on YouTube. Make sure y'all subscribe, click on that bell, because once we go live,
you will be notified.
Hawks are they gonna come down and they're gonna beat them.
That was funny. You know what though, Fred? That was the last video that I did.
Really? Why?
Yeah, I hate video.
Oh. Oh.
Let me tell you, you taught me.
Don't tell me it was my fault.
You taught me a lot. Okay.
Uh-oh.
Like when it comes to video editing.
Oh yeah.
One change could equate to a long time, on the computer.
It's pretty much a domino effect.
Yes.
Because if one thing happens, then you got to redo
you have to change
this,
everything
redo that
else on the timeline. And I was just like, I don't like doing this. Like I was willing to do it because, I'm gonna do what I have to do as a professional. But that was when I learned, like, if I'm going to do video, I'm going to do it because I want to do that. And it's not necessarily a paid situation. Maybe it's because I have some passion about executing on something. But yeah, that was the last video.
It's a whole lot, huh?
Mm-hmm.
Because, and Sadal would tell you, like, I'm very picky in regards to how I work certain things to be. And you saw it.
I saw
you know what I'm saying?
That was the first time I saw that side of you too. I was like, okay, that's it for me. I'm done.
Like when I have a certain vision of how I want something to be presented, I have to make sure that it's done a certain way.
Yeah,
and that's how I am. With
that's to be expected because all of my clients have a different level of expectation and need, and so I prefer, like, I'm okay with a client having an expectation and change for a photo.
Mm-hmm.
I can do that. Sleep, but video, So I hire out for that now. So I have a team actually. I have a team of vendors and people that I send out on assignment. So my company is still operating like somebody's out shooting right now for me.
Dope.
I'm here with you. So my company is still operating. I'm removing myself from the day-to-day field operations and more so, managing. The reputation of the business and the admin and that kind of thing.
Got a question from your husband. If you can put it back up there, Sadal.
How do I keep myself consistent and sharp to bring a new flavor to your customers year after year? New experiences, first of all. So, just being inspired with, when I travel or I'm watching. I like to watch documentaries a lot. He knows that because I'll sit there and watch something and I got shit to do with nothing. But just kind of feeling inspired by the things that I experience or the things that I consume in my everyday, psyche or whatnot. But then the consistency part come into play because this is what I love to do. Like, I wake up motivated to do this work because I love doing it.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm going to be consistent with it no matter what. And I always feel the need to be better. So when I think about each photo shoot and session that I do, that session needs to be better than the last session. The next session got to be better than the last session. And that has to be a consistent thing that I'm operating on regularly. In the moments that I do fall short, I feel like I may have not advanced, I'm hopping my ass back on YouTube.
Right.
Or maybe sometimes I'm calling a colleague, in my field to talk through things, that type of thing. But yeah, that's how I stay consistent and sharp. Like YouTube, I love what I do, so I'm gonna get up and do it no matter what. And being able to send other people out on assignment.
And believe it or not, whether it comes to drums or even DJing, I'm self-taught. Like I was never taught, like, hey, let me show you the whatever of drums and DJing.
Yep.
But like you said, the YouTube, or let's say Sadal and DJ Steve Jenks, or whoever I'm DJing with, I may learn something from them. I love to learn different things that I can apply and add my own smoothness to it. You know what I'm saying? Mm-hmm. So that's why it's a joy. Right, exactly. Yeah, it's a joy to be around other people. Right, because, you're like, oh, man, I didn't think about that. And now I could add this to that, whatever. While also I'm always showing love, what I'm saying, to my people, you know what I'm saying? Because that's what it's all about.
Yeah, big time. You got to keep evolving, though.
Yeah.
Like, I hope I don't get to a space where, I get in my older ages and I'm just like, all right, I'm done, like not done doing photography, but I'm done growing.
Or that creative side starts to like,
it diminishes, I'm like, okay, well, this is where I'm comfortable and I ain't doing no extra. I'm gonna just stay right here because that's what I'm good at. Like, nah, because I don't think I would be that person though, because I get bored. And I'd be sitting up here like, okay, what's next?
Well, I'm glad you brought it up, because not only are you a photographer, but you started getting into NFTs. Tell everyone now, are NFTs?
What the fuck is an NFT?
Right. So, because I was like, what the heck is that? You go ahead, Sadal. Like, what is that? You know what I'm saying? And so you had this going on, watch party, NFT, not just a buzzword, TED Talk, the whole nine. But what made you start into doing NFTs? And is it still a big thing as it was when you first started out?
NFTs is people are still building behind the scenes. They're still building. They're still, cracking away at the next digital advances utilizing NFTs. So it is still as big, right? Mm-hmm. But it's as big as it was then. What people don't understand is by the time y'all start seeing this shit on Instagram, it was already underground buzzing with thousands of people, indoctrinated into it. And that's where I was. I was in the Clubhouse and the Twitter spaces and, buying them and watching them sell out. Thousands and thousands of people, hundreds of thousands of people already in it. It didn't hit mainstream until like a year and a half after it was already, being built. So the same amount of people that was, into it then, it's probably quadrupled by now, but they're working. They just working and building right now. It's going to be another wave, of utilization that comes about. Mm-hmm. That's what it is. Now, when I got into it on Clubhouse, I don't know what made it intriguing for me. It was just probably more so wanting to learn something new and be ahead of the game about something else that people weren't talking about, digitally and technologically. Mm. So it was very intriguing to sit in these rooms and watch people sell, thousands of NFTs in minutes and make millions of dollars in minutes. It was something that you couldn't even, you couldn't close your eyes to it. The money was like, what the hell is really going on? So, yeah.
And it's kind of like NFTs and Bitcoin and Dodge, whatever. They all came out, cryptocurrency all came out around the same.
And it's still growing. Ethereum right now, even though it's kind of up and down, it's still rocking in the 3,000s. Whereas when NFTs was coming about, Ethereum was like worth $1,000, $1,500, something like that. But now they're moving it, through the finance system to get it, get its accreditation and make it where people can actually use it, transactionally, stuff like that. Like crypto is the next currency. They just have to figure out how to regulate it, and that's where I believe cryptocurrency is right now.
So you brought it up earlier. Let's talk about, because this woman here, y'all, had an amazing exhibit that was at the airport for months and months. I had the opportunity to take a photo in front of it and everything. But you brought up earlier, talk about her imminent reign.
Yeah.
And
that's
this right here.
I'm cute. All of us cute. Wow. That was pretty monumental. 7.5 million views in
That's
6
crazy.
months. Yeah.
What made you begin this? I know you said earlier that you wanted to highlight Black women more, but her imminent reign, where did that all just start from?
COVID made me not like COVID. I think for everybody caused us to not experience enough human connection. And so I just had a dream one day, and I was like, I want it. In the dream, I thought about what it would look like to be a part of a production team of all women, because my field is filled with men. And I don't always feel like my voice is heard, And so I was like, I know a lot of women who are really dope at what they do. And so what does it look like to bring those women together and we co-collaborate on celebrating and learning the stories of other women who were before us? How did those women navigate adversity, and, who did the work for me to be able to do what I do today? And so that's how Her Imminent Reign came about. Her Imminent Reign literally means her, which is woman. Imminent meaning, no matter what, she can't be like it can't be erased. It's imminent that it'll always like be told, or in the future, that kind of thing. And then reign, of course, is shit, I can't even explain it. It's just a reign, a time period or an era of time that greatness happens for an extended period of time. And so that's how I came up with the name. But 2021 is when we did our first shoot in production. And when I woke up from that dream 5 days later, I had 11 strangers in the same room with each other during the COVID time period that I found on Instagram, who were experts in what they do, recreating images of Black women that I found online that I had never heard of, and wanted to tell their story. So here we are 4 years later, going into our year 5, and I'll be premiering a documentary in March of 2025 about it.
Awesome.
Yeah, I just got my grant.
Congratulations.
Got some money. I can move forward.
More money.
If you want to donate to Her Imminent Reign, go on our website and definitely donate. All donations are tax. What's it called?
Deductible.
Yeah.
So how did your exhibit end up at the airport?
I applied right before COVID, actually. In 2019, I had applied to, they were doing a call for exhibitions, and I applied then. And just kind of looking for an opportunity to put it on the wall somewhere, because my pictures just sit and they kind of collect dust when they're not on exhibition. And they reached back out to me in 2021. So
all the photos that were just shown on the screen earlier, where are all those photos now? Do you have them?
Garage. Waiting to be sold.
Got you. There you go.
They'll be at Frizz Fest in September 21st. We'll be at Frizz Fest. You come buy them mugs and buy a piece of history today. Put it on your wall and watch the market value eventually go up, because your girl got some stuff up the sleeve.
Hey now. Hey now. I love it. So this show has always been about, with anything I do, it's always about giving their flowers, and talk about receiving or being a recipient, an award winner, I guess you want to call it, of this right here. Deluxe Power 100 awardee.
Oh,
now this is something that I'm striving to, to get to that level.
Like just put stuff back, like just make a post. Do y'all remember and hear my accolades and stuff that I've done? That's cool, Fred.
Yeah.
Oh wow.
Yeah.
Oh man.
Talk about it. Like the emotion when you first realized that you was being nominated or that you were an awardee.
It was very, very proud moment. I can't remember when I found out, but I was. They sent me an email or something like that, and I was like, "Oh my God, I'm getting an award! This is the first award that I've ever received for my work as a photographer." So, the reason why my Instagram says awarded international photographer is because I got this award.
I got the receipts. Yeah, I can prove it.
It was a cool situation, and I'm very proud to be a part of the Deluxe family for that. The one person that I wanted to take with me to the awards, my dad, he transitioned right before the award ceremony. So I wasn't even sure if I was going to make it to the award ceremony because I was still grieving.
Yeah.
But I went because
I knew, yeah. I didn't just accept that award for myself. I accepted it for him too, So you had a nice long speech?
No. It was like a graduation ceremony.
Oh, gotcha.
Call your name. You walk up.
Pick up.
Get your award.
Wave.
Keep going.
There you go.
Take your picture and go. It was 100 awardees. Yeah. So, yeah.
Yeah, that's awesome, and congrats to you. And I know a few people who have gotten that award, so I'm coming. Smoooth Productions is coming, y'all.
We're gonna nominate Fred this year.
Stay tuned. But it's a blessing to be able to be in a position because this is what I do it for.
Yeah.
I tell people all the time. I feel like as I've gotten older in my life, my duty is to be able to put people on certain platforms and give them their flowers and let the world know what they could be missing.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? And I love providing outlets and everything that I can do with my power, with my position, and just show love because that's what's lacking.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying, in this world. So where everyone else is focusing on negative press and, certain shade room type stuff, I'm doing the opposite because we need more love.
Definitely.
We definitely need more love. Now you brought this up earlier. You showed me a photo, but I do have this. You have an opportunity to do photography for the great Janelle Monáe. Then you, like you said, last week,
now presidential candidate,
right?
Kamala Harris.
So just talk about that feeling of being in that position to take photos of some legendary women and others who you've done photography for now.
When I received the opportunity to capture Janelle, they were actually seeking Black women photographers in every city during her tour. And I applied, and I was just so anxious. I'm like, why they ain't said nothing to me yet? She almost about to be in St. Louis. Like, we need to tell people that she's here. I mean, we need to tell people that I applied. So I put a post out on Instagram to the community in St. Louis. I was like, yeah, I applied to be Janelle Monáe photographer. Y'all know I got kids. I need to secure a babysitter, so I need to know if I got this job or not, And this was 2 days before she was scheduled to be here. And people were like commenting and tagging her, tagging Black women photographers, letting them know like Myrina the best in the city, reach out to Myrina. And they reached out to me the next day, the day before her concert, and was like, hey, we want to hire you. I'm like, shut up, that's dope, right? So I got a chance to like do that in this picture. I did it here in St. Louis, and so I built a relationship with some people on her team with Wonderland, and a mentor of mine, Demetrius Neal, he's a commercial photographer, really dope, from St. Louis, also my frat brother. He was like, so what next after I finished? And I was like, I don't know. What you mean, what next? I mean, I'm just go back to work, do what I do or whatever. He was like, nah, what next? How are you going to leverage this opportunity in those relationships this connection you now have to these people. And I was like, well, I wouldn't know what to do right now. I mean, it's Janelle Monáe, they doing whatever they doing. He was like, no, you need to cultivate that. So I put myself in the pool. I was like, hey, you know, it was an amazing time shooting with you all. If y'all got other dates y'all need photographers for, I could get there.
Mm-hmm.
And they was like, we actually do. They sent me a list of several dates. It was like, choose the ones you're going to be there for. Say less. So I chose Atlanta and I chose Phoenix. That's what worked with my schedule. And so I flew to both of those places and shot her in both of those places.
Was that like all expense paid?
Nah, so they pay me you know, the compensation that they have designated for that, as if the person they pay me what they would have paid a person that already lived there.
Gotcha.
So it was kind of one of those, for me, I looked at it as one of those opportunities where I'm going to keep building these relationships. I'm going to show them what I can do, blah, blah, blah. You know what I'm saying? I was compensated, but not travel situation, you know? So that's when I shot, when I went to Atlanta, Quavo came out for it too. And I shot her on my dad's old school camera.
Wow.
And that video went viral. It did. I didn't even know until later.
That's crazy. And it's amazing about that, because like you plan on trying to have a post a certain thing to want to go viral, but it'd be the one that you don't even think of.
Yeah.
That all of a sudden just goes crazy.
Went. Like, they loved it. Janelle loved it. I sent them the entire footage that I shot. I shot that entire concert on my dad's old camera.
Wow.
And come to find out, Janelle loves that type of, you know, that nostalgic feel. It was crazy. I had booked the Atlanta show, and the day before I was scheduled to leave for the Atlanta show, I got a message on my Instagram. And it was like, are you available to shoot an event in St. Louis, you know, tomorrow at this time? And I was like, actually, I'm not available, but they called me. So it's a number from DC, and I'm like, I don't know nobody from DC. It's probably spam.
Right. So
I answer. They're like, hi, you know, we want to talk to Myrina, TJ's Photography. I'm like, this is her. She's like, I just sent you a message on Instagram about shooting tomorrow. I said, I'm actually not available. I have another high profile client that I have to shoot, so I won't be able to come. And they're like, do you at least want to know who it is? I was like, sure, you can tell me, but in my mind, nobody bigger than Janelle, you know, right now for me. And like, well, it's actually Kamala Harris. And I was like, what the fuck?
Wow.
For real? So I was, my mouth was on the floor. I remember just being in the car, and I started, my hands started shaking. I'm like emotional. I'm like, oh my God. Like, why me? You know what I'm saying? How they find me to do this, you know?
Right.
So I'm like, okay, let me call you back. Let me try to figure this out.
Oh, right? Yeah, you're going to make it happen.
Oh, now. I made it happen. I called, and this is where, when you asked me that question earlier about, you know, do I feel like the city support each other? This is where I was able to really lean on my city to help me make this happen for them when they came here. I called Nayara because I couldn't stay the entire time. I had to catch my flight to Janelle, but I was able to do a specified segment. So I called her to do the rest of it for me. I hired her to do that. And then when I got there on site, because they ain't give me a whole lot of information, I needed some additional lighting. So I was able to reach out to Dana Christian, who's a cinematographer here. He came out with his lights. I reached out to Church Productions. Him and Chi came out with their lighting. You know, I had 3 different rooms where I needed lights to shoot. And they came and brought the equipment, and I didn't know I needed all that until I got there. And even if I had known, because I had to book it on the road to the airport, I wouldn't have been able to carry all that equipment. So my community really, you know, they came through for me and brought that into fruition. So when we talk about competition versus collaboration and do sustainable support each other, I can't say that they don't, because people have shown me in instances, especially in the instance like this, where we have, you know, a woman who's holding one of the highest seats of the land, you know, in our town. We made sure that she got and their team got the services that they required from us. They showed up. So that's what that article is about, how I shot both of them on the same day. My husband and children had already flown to Atlanta waiting for me there. So when I got to Atlanta, I get in the car, it's Slutty Vegan waiting for me, and we go straight to
Wow.
Then it's time for me to go shoot Janelle. So that was quite the day.
It's crazy because next week we'll be in Atlanta as well, and along with now presidential nominee Kamala Harris. So
we're gonna manifest that your girl get that contract in Chicago for the DNC.
Ooh,
we're gonna manifest that.
Let's go. Let's get it. I love it. Yeah. Once again, you are watching Smooth Conversations. I'm your boy Smooth. That is Smooth with 3 O's, in case you didn't know. And I have my fam here. You know what I'm saying? Not friend, but fam. Mrs. Myrina Renaissance Otey-Myton. Right, look at you. Otey.
Yeah.
Tell me about the last name.
It's my daddy's.
So, I mean, like, is there a story behind the Otey name? Like,
Daddy.
That's it. Okay, it just sounds like it's not a normal, you know what I'm saying, last name.
A lot of people ask me that, especially like African people. They'd be like, you know, they tell me that the name is either Ghanaian or, you know, somewhere from West Africa. And I'm like, I really wouldn't know. I just got it from my daddy.
So, going back to when we first met at Express Scripts, at the time, you were still in your 20s.
You know, Thundercatting.
And of course, this was, you know, before, you know, you and Kwame. But at the time when you and I met, you told me you had how many kids?
3.
Because I was like, what?
Yeah, I had 3.
Talk about that.
What about it?
I mean, just you trying, because you was already doing photography, correct?
No.
Oh, you wasn't? Okay.
Not at Express Scripts?
Yeah. Okay. So you being a mother, 3 kids, you definitely know. I mean, just 1 or 2 could be like, wow, but 3 at that time at a young age. Talk about that.
That shit was a lot. Still a lot.
Yeah.
These kids. Yeah, you know. But yeah, what was the question?
Just about being a mother in your 20s, 3 kids.
You know what? It's so interesting that you asked me that, because I started when I was 16. I had my first child at 16. It was the hardest thing I could have probably ever did in my life, was be a teen mom, and still finish high school and, you know, still work towards trying to be the better version of myself, without even knowing who I was. So that was difficult. You know, at that time too, I was also married and separated, going through a divorce, that type of deal. So it was a lot of learning. I felt like by that time period though, I was 40 years old mentally, but 20-something, you know what I'm saying? Because I had so many responsibilities and stuff. So, but my children were always a motivating factor for me. It always put me in a space where I was like, no matter what, I need to be a role model. No matter what, I need to make money. No matter what, I have to provide. So I just always felt like I needed to be better. I didn't want to be a statistic. That was one of the main things that kept me going. It's not wanting to be a statistic or people to stereotype me.
Right.
So, yeah, it was difficult. You know, by the time I became a trainer, though, I had sent my oldest 2 to live with their dad in Texas, because one, the job, I traveled a lot on that position, and so it was kind of hard to, you know, take care of them by myself.
Try to provide stability.
But then when I got fired, I didn't have any stability anymore. So they stayed down there, and I was like, okay, I'm gonna finish college. I'm gonna go back to college. I'm gonna finish, and I'm gonna start this business. And that's when I really got a chance to kind of learn the things that I like. fall in love with who I am or who I was becoming at the time. It taught me a lot. It was a big sacrifice, big sacrifice. I wouldn't change my journey, because I had to learn what I had to learn.
Right.
But I think parenting in general is, you're always learning.
Always, yeah.
You're always learning. Learning about yourself, you're learning about your children, you're learning about the world. You're always learning. So at that time period, once they was gone with their daddy, and I got used to the fact that I was alone, because I never had that before. But once I kind of came to an acceptance of that idea without the guilt, of sending them to live with their father, oh, it was go time.
Let's get it.
Yeah, it was go time. I'm finna finish this. I'm about to knock this off my list. Like, it's because I had the time. It's different when you don't have the time. You still want to knock things off your list. You still do it. It just takes you a little bit longer. But I knew I had a very narrow window, and I just had to pump through it every single time. But in that, I found my safety. I started understanding how to walk, how to talk, how to do a lot of things, just being a woman. I learned that.
You experienced your own imminent reign.
I did. I experienced my own womanhood.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So, and how many kids do you have now total?
You can ask my husband. Because I've been talking about the only 3. And now he done gave me 3 more.
How's the relationship with the 3 with Kwame and the 3 previously? Do y'all have any relationship at all, or is it hard? Or
it's hard. Blended families are difficult. New, well, in my case, new father figure roles, right? And people understanding and accepting you for who you are, or, versus what they've known you to be. That's hard. You have people who want to pigeonhole you to who you were, who they knew you to be, and then still act like they know you. Don't. Like, I'm different.
Right.
But yeah, parenting is hard, man.
And it never stops.
Hell no. I'm like, I love all my kids, but I recognize that I am in a twilight zone. I have this, my oldest is 18.
Okay.
My youngest is 3 months. And then I got everybody in between there. And I'm juggling so many different personalities, and my personality has to adapt to all these different people. That's a lot. It's a lot in itself.
And I know it has to be hard that you can't be at a certain child's beck and call when they're in need.
Yeah. And I do my best. I do. But you know what I learned, though, when I was by myself? Is I come first.
You have to.
I always come first. I'm going to always prioritize me, my mental health, my emotional health, my physical health. I'm going to always prioritize those things first. Because, in the beginning years of my parenting life, I thought that I had to prioritize other people. And that was causing me to have a severe emotional and mental decline. And so when I took that break and I went through that isolation to learn me and understand mental health, and I studied psychology. So I diagnose myself all the time, but I was able to kind of learn some of the behaviors and understand what the behaviors meant, solutions to the behaviors, and that type of thing. How I parent today is a little bit different now. I got to just this space of like, I have learned to love myself. You will not put me in a space where I don't. And love and being selfish is not it's not. I mean, being self. What is it? Being selfless. I don't know. Being about self isn't selfish. Some shit like that. But prioritizing me should not bring shame from other people, because without no me, there is none of y'all. And if I'm not well, then I cannot be well for you, which means you will not be well.
Right.
So when those things are compromised, I have to do what I have to do to make sure they're no longer compromised.
Totally understand.
I deserve to be here.
I get you. So I asked your husband about this on the show. So now I'm gonna get your point of view. What does this photo mean
Here we
to
go.
you?
I want to go back.
That was in Florida, right?
Yeah. What beach was that on? Babe, tell me what beach that was. I think it was Hollywood Beach, Florida. It's so funny because that morning we were in our resort and I was getting ready. He was getting ready, but we were in 2 separate rooms. We had only brought 3 people with us. Energy, because she made our ring. Belle, because she played. And my mother-in-law. And when we drove to the beach that morning before the sun rose, we were all in one car. There was 5 people at my wedding.
Hey,
plus the officiant.
My wedding was small too.
Yeah,
it was exactly what we wanted.
And it was small. It was cost effective. It was beautiful. It didn't require a whole lot of stress. I was pregnant, of course. I was actually, it was Hollywood Beach. I was actually pregnant with Nandi when we got married, and that was our honeymoon / baby moon. We stayed in Florida for like a week. But this picture to me, it just signifies a lot. Y'all make me want to go home. It signifies a lot, like just, a safe love, unconditional love, and somebody who treasures me, who prioritizes me, and I do that with them too. So that day, like that morning, the waters were so, you could see the waves in the background. They were so strong. You could see my veil moving, like the wind, the energy was so strong. The day before that, it was calm, very calm. And I wanted to just go out there. I'm a photographer. So I just wanted to go out there to see, okay, where is the sun's golden hour stuff going to be at? And I thought we were going to do a sunset wedding. But when I went out there that evening, when we got there and saw the sunset on the other side of the beach, I said, we got to get up at 5 o'clock in the morning. He was like, 5 o'clock? I said, yes. Got to get the golden hour. So the next day when I'm sitting up here, we blindfolded him, put him in the back seat, and I drove to the beach. Yeah, it was funny.
Wow.
Yeah, I drove to the beach. We blindfolded him, put him in the back seat. Picked up Energy and Belle from the hotel. My mother-in-law got in the car. And once we got to the beach and we started walking out, I could hear the waves just crash. And I'm like, this is mimicking my energy right now. The excitement that I feel, the nervousness that I feel. And this is 2021, so a lot of people still doing virtual weddings. So
right.
We sent Zoom links out to families, so a lot of people tuned in on Zoom. And I actually recorded it on the tripod that just stood with my camera on the side.
and this happened at which month was this?
March. Don't get me remembering the day. I still confused the day. But is it March 24th or the 26th? It's one of those.
But it was March. So it was, it was 2 months before my wife and I decided to get married.
Okay.
Yeah, because we got married the same year.
Okay, yeah. Because I remember seeing the post. I'm like, dang, everybody getting married this year. But you know what, though? That time period, like with COVID and stuff, it brought everybody, like a lot of people was getting married during that time. My brother got married the same year I got married. March. Are you sure? No, that's Grand Mary's birthday. It's confusing. It's terrible. But we danced. Belle was playing our song and we were dancing, and It was great. I just want to go back.
Yeah.
Yeah, not a whole lot of kids, just me and him. But he love our kids. I love our kids too. But I do feel like having, a new family, it definitely puts us in the position where we're always having to do everything with them, and we don't get a whole lot of just me and him time to connect. So we have to be intentional.
And that's what I want to talk about, because you and I had a conversation a while back, and me, I like to do wellness checks on people, especially our, everyone in general, but especially our people, and especially people who I know that we've had connection for years. And we had a conversation. I'm like, how you doing? How's the marriage life? And you were saying, yes, of course you love your husband. It's great. But you was at a point where you was even saying it's hard for y'all to date.
Yeah.
Because you were so busy doing this, and he was probably busy doing that.
Life, man.
And this was like right after, my wifey, shouts out to your wifey, love you.
Hey, wifey.
This was
making my friend happy. I love that.
This is not too long after we got married, and I was telling you how I feel and how I'm like, I make sure that we prioritize having a date night. Like, no matter how busy we get, we have to make sure that we still enjoy us. Keep that honeymoon vibe going. And you were saying at that time, like, it was hard. It was
honeymoon being.
You said what?
I have to remember this shit gonna be on the internet forever. Our honeymoon, we make kids on our honeymoon.
I mean, hey, that's why it's a honeymoon. Ain't no shame. You married. You know what I'm saying?
I know, but I'm just saying, can we just date and not be a kid produced from it?
Can we go one night without making one?
Yeah.
Like we can do the dude, but not make one. Yeah.
No one making.
I love it. So how long after that discussion because I know we had on the show and y'all talked about, communication.
We did not get married on her birthday. I know. No, we didn't. We did not get. We did not get married on Grand Mary's birthday. Sorry.
Oh no, you all good. But no. So after our conversation, did y'all two both have a talk like, hey, we gotta figure this ish out and prioritize? Cause you remember how you said earlier about parenting? You like prioritize yourself before everything else. Did y'all have that conversation? Like, hey, we need to
really check my cup. Girl, it's the Welch's in here.
But it is the Welch's, y'all. Hey, it is what it is. But after the conversation, did y'all have a conversation amongst yourselves like, hey, we gotta really prioritize us enjoying us and sitting back and enjoy us for a change?
We be trying. Okay, he said receipts. Hold on, my bad.
Oh, he got the receipts. The mister got receipts. He about to break it down.
Oh. But that's not Grand Mary's birthday, though. That's not Grand Mary's birthday.
What was that?
Anyway. I think my Grand Mary's birthday on the 24th then. Okay. What was the question?
Oh, just about did y'all talk in regards to, okay, we got to really prioritize ourselves having a date night and enjoying ourselves. Kind of like, you know what, let's go back to what brought us together, outside of having kids.
All right. To be honest, sometimes we do, but it's not like I told you. I knew that. See?
So you was right the whole time? Okay.
But we do have those conversations sometimes, but okay. So just a little bit of backstory. When Kwame and I started dating, I met him again in California. We graduated high school together. I met him again in California.
Oh, you talking about this photo right here?
Here we go. Yes. Head ass. Okay. So he was a lot nicer than I was. So by this time I had my first child. I was in a relationship with her dad, and me and him were good friends. So I actually was not he was a different type of person to me, and I went for a different type of person back then. So we graduated together in 07, and then I saw him again in California. When we started dating in California, I am the outgoing one, an extroverted person. So I was always finding fun stuff for us to do. Like my graduation trip was also around his birthday. So I surprised him for his birthday and for my graduation trip on a trip to Catalina Island. I blindfolded him damn near the whole way there. We had to take
you need blindfolds. No wonder y'all got 3 more kids.
No, friend. But I did. I put a blindfold on.
Got the handcuffs.
Drove to the dock, got on the boat to Catalina. We kicked it in Catalina, So, but I'm the person that, finds the fun things for us to do. And I really do enjoy that. Like lately though, I'm always working. So I haven't really had the energy to do a whole lot of that. Working isn't necessarily working in the field of my business, but I'm also a mom. So, I have a lot of duties, but, the dating part of things was really that was a big part of what I did. And so I ain't gonna lie, I do be trying to shift that responsibility onto him now. I'd be like, baby, why don't you figure it out? Why don't you find something for us to do? And he do try, but I'm picky. So it's not his fault.
What's your sign?
I'm picky. I'm a Gemini.
Oh Lord.
I go back and forth.
Oh Lord. So he dealing with 8 different personalities. Lord, God bless his.
No, not 8.
Okay, what 10?
3.
Oh goodness gracious.
How many would you say, man? It's probably 3.
He gonna have about 25.
He do it well though. He handle them all well.
Yeah. I mean, hey, you got someone that you pray for, and you got the man who's able to hold you down.
Yeah.
That's what it matters the most.
Exactly.
And we brought up on the show about how being with you elevated him. Being with him
100% elevated me. Emotionally, I'm a different woman. Showing love is because he teaches me how to do that. In a lot of instances, I follow him because he leads with a different level of grace and respect and stuff like that. Now, I ain't gonna lie though, I do be having my moments because I'm a rowdy person when I get there. So, I try not to show that part a lot.
Yeah, my wife be saying the same thing. We know each other for a couple years, probably 4 years in total. But she I haven't really seen. He said 6 personalities. Okay, but she I really haven't seen the clown, Jamie. It's I've seen her, but I haven't seen that other side.
No,
and I'm
seen it already.
Now she may have shown a little bit of it trying to come out at different point, and not because of me, just not because of me, but because of other things. And I'm I'll make sure that I ain't around that type of attitude or person, because I don't want to catch the wrath of my wife if someone was to get her on that clown level. But you brought up something also in regards to how not only did he elevated you, but how he brought more peace to your life and how you're able to, how your attitude shift. And that's when I knew in regards to Jamie that I knew I had the one.
Yeah.
Because it was certain thing that she would say after the thing that she told me that how she was. And when she was doing certain things, I'm like, this has to be it.
Yeah.
Like we brought this up last week. We went to Mauricio, and that was one of our like couple of first dating spots that we went to. And we sat there in our own table, and she told me before that she really wasn't like the mushy, type in public. And we there, and she out under my arm. We all, doing our thing. We vibing, and she said at Mauricio's. I'm sorry, Macchiano's. Sorry, we was there, and she was like, "Man, I'm never this affectionate in the public," and I'm like,
"It's a different vibe. The person." It's the person. We can say what we ain't, what we are, and all those things, but I think that we are heavily influenced by our person.
Yeah. And then, like, I'm pretty sure if she would have betted herself, she would have betted the other way around. But she was the first person to say, "I love you." And I'm pretty sure she never saw that coming.
Yeah.
Because I sent her just on a humbug. I sent her edible arrangements to the house, and the first text I got was "I love you."
That's so sweet.
And I was like, "Whoa!" Like,
that's so sweet, Fred.
The great Jamie Beyonce, who doesn't show affection.
She showed it to you though, because it's different when you're a deserving person. It's different when there's some reciprocity that exists there. That's different, and I feel like my husband definitely he reciprocates in so many ways. And he like that's his journey. He leads with love in everything that he does. And I haven't had people like that around me, and I was not raised that way either. So I am learning to be like that, and yeah, I have my faults and my slip ups or whatever, because we talk about nature versus nurture.
All right.
So sometimes one side overtakes the other, vice versa.
Shoot, like my wife, she wasn't even used to having her car door open for her.
Nope, neither.
The small things, what I'm saying? Like, I go to a store, I'll be like, "Hold on, let me get the door for you." Like everywhere we go, unless for some reason she 2 miles ahead of me, then I can't do it. But normally, you know what I'm saying? And I think she gets it now.
Yeah.
But sometimes just because of her nature from back then, not being used to it, I'll be like, "Oh, no, sit right there." She'd be in the car trying to get up. I'll be like, "No, sit right there.
Yeah.
I got you."
I'm not used to somebody rooting for me all the time and cheering me on. Like when I'm about to do something or when I share news with him, he's like, "Oh my God, like that's so dope." And he's genuine about it. He's excited for me. I've not had that, family or, partner.
And low key, even though she hears it all the time from me, but I think that she still gets not maybe shy, or I'm always complimenting her like, "Oh, you're looking good, you're looking sexy," then she like, how y'all be like, "Oh boy, stop. Whatever."
Okay. Because he do that to me too. He do that to me too. I'll be like, "Babe," but I'm like, I think as women who haven't had that, I do think that we eventually have to come to a space where we just receive it and say thank you. And it just be that. I'm still learning that. I know I am. He'll tell me, "Oh, you look fun. Come here, let me fix this and fix that." You know what I'm saying? And I let him do what he gonna do, whatever the case may be. But like, I'm still learning to just say thank you and to be grateful that somebody, finds me attractive through all my changes. Because my shit fluctuate a lot too. It's volatile over here. The older I get.
And
but I'm gonna have somebody that love me through it all.
Right, through it all. And I made vows, with Jamie, like no matter what, I'm going to make sure you feel special. If no one else, which I ain't concerned, but I'm going to make sure because that's what we signed up to do. And, with God, like I'm going to make sure. Fred.
Jamie, I hope you're on here. Kwame, I hope y'all both on here.
But yes, this has been an amazing episode of Smooth Conversations. Before we go, I'm gonna give you the opportunity if you had any questions for me. Anything that you just wanted to know, whatever it is.
What is new?
Wait a minute. Got a comment. Yeah. Thank you.
Go ahead.
Thank you, wifey. Love it.
What's next for you?
That's a great question. I mean, of course, as you see with this, as I told you before, this has been in the making for us for like over 2 years.
Yeah, it's been a minute.
And finally able to do it. So I just want to be able to continue to set goals and reach that goal and then build new goals.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? I want the world to realize what I'm doing, see what I'm doing, understand what I'm doing, feel what I'm doing, and appreciate what I'm doing. You know what I'm saying? Because life is too short, and I don't want to be at the end like, man, I said I was going to do this, but I didn't do it. And I'm hard on myself at times because I feel like if I would have did more, if I would put my energy into certain things when I was younger, maybe I'll be in a different path.
Mm-hmm.
But then I think about, well, it's a reason why I am in this path. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
It's a reason why I'm taking this path and not taking someone else who may, be going whatever.
Yeah.
But it's a reason why I'm still here.
Yeah.
And I just want to continue to just remain humble in everything that I do and continue to uplift and enjoy life. Because as you see around this world, with this generation and just how this world is nowadays, we can't take nothing for granted.
Mm-hmm.
So having moments like this and to be around good people, just for instance, y'all had no idea the bond that Myrina and I have had for over 10 years.
Yeah.
Like I took you to multiple job hiring, job interviews.
Yeah.
Like I waited outside of a college for like 2 hours while you were, having an interview done.
Man,
you know what I'm saying?
Crazy.
Stuff like that.
Community.
Right.
Yeah, man. It'd be those small moments.
Yeah. So,
lead up to big wins.
Yeah. So just to see where you came from trying to get a job at Maryville to you having your own team and you traveling. Matter of fact, the tour you went to last week, who was that for? You can't say?
Well, you'd be the first platform that I said it on.
Okay.
So I was hired to shoot Janelle Monáe's concert, the Age of Pleasure Euro Tour.
I had a feeling it was her. Okay.
Mm-hmm. She was opening up for Coldplay.
Wow.
So them pictures crazy.
You heard it here first on Smooth Conversations, y'all.
That's why we were there.
That's awesome.
We had 2 weeks to prepare. We found out 2 weeks before.
Wow.
Mm-hmm.
That's amazing. So like I said, from you trying to get interviews or get hired at Maryville to this moment now.
Yeah.
I love it.
Thank you.
I love it for you. And it's so much more for us, in store. Smooth 100%. Productions, Renaissance TJs, we have to collab on something that's going to just, continue to change the game. So,
100%.
I got you.
Thank you.
And, let's make it happen.
Always reciprocated.
Let's make it happen. And once again, this was Smooth Conversation. That is our show for the evening. And do we have any more comments before we close out? Let's see here. What type of music you like to listen to and relax? Okay, great question. So I love old school R&B the most. You know, like the New Jack City era, Bobby Brown in the New Edition era, Tevin Campbell. I love the era music. You know what I'm saying? The 80s, 90s, early 2000s R&B, Drew Hill, Jaheim, you know, those cats, I love it. You know what I'm saying? That's my relaxation. Also gospel music. You know, I've always listened to gospel. You know, I'm a drummer at my church, but every Sunday, my wife and I, we always play gospel music, songs that we're gonna be playing, singing or playing at church, but then just to get the mood. You know what I'm saying? This, and even after church, we'll have a certain block where we just playing gospel music. You know, Kirk Franklin's and Lecrae, you know, the whole nine, and it just gives us a different vibe. You know what I'm saying? Mindset. So yeah, definitely old school R&B. That's my thing. Love it. Gospel music. Gospel music, especially just certain songs. But I love like live music, and I get like emotional because I love certain sounds.
You be going to City Winery?
I haven't been yet.
So I would say this.
I want to go.
The shows I've gone have been nice.
Okay.
The show.
But the place I hear is super small.
The seats.
Yeah, I hear it's super
City
like
Winery
sardines.
Need to move somewhere else. I'm talking to y'all. Move to a different location. I know the Foundry is all hype and it's all fun and dandy and all that shit, but it is uncomfortable to sit in those seats and you are literally the next person is at my knees. I cannot eat my food. The size dishes that you all actually bring out, I can't eat my food without elbowing the next person in the back. And then I'm over here trying to jam, but I can't do nothing like with this. That's not gonna work for me anymore.
Yeah, because my wife went to City Winery in Philadelphia, and she said they had 2 floors and it was humongous.
It's bigger, yeah.
Right.
Nashville is bigger too, and I saw that because Belle and Rhoda G performed there. Right. They actually about to do another one coming up soon in September, I think. But as much as I want to be there, and they put on a good show, I do not want to be sitting packed like sardines in that space.
And truthfully, that's how what's that place called, Sadar, that we went to see Guy Tori, the comedy spot, Helium, super small.
I ain't never been there. My daddy performed there.
Really?
Yeah, he my daddy started pursuing comedy after he retired from the federal government in 2020. He started pursuing comedy, so he performed on amateur night at the Helium. But I never been there. But ew, like don't nobody want to deal with that. And to be honest, I can see a comedy club being small because you kind of see that on TV a little bit. You kind of understand that they do be a little small and intimate. But a show, a live performance where people gonna be swaying and you know what I'm saying? Right. You bringing out food. The waitresses, I don't even know how the hell they get through to give people food and drink.
that puts me in the mindset. It's a Fritz that I went to in Kansas City where they serve the food by having the train go riding around the top of the ceiling, and then it'll stop right at your table, and the tray will drop down.
Wow, I never seen that before. That seemed pretty dope, though.
Yeah, Fritz and
they need to have something like that in there. Might as well. You got people packed in there so damn close. I can smell the person what they ate yesterday.
Yeah, that's crazy. That's crazy.
Yeah. So, to all my people that's performing at the City Winery, you know, I just want to say that I do the one in St. Louis. I do love you. I do support you 100%. But if you do your show at a different venue, I would come there. I'm not coming back to the City Winery.
Well, there she goes.
Maybe.
She said maybe.
I don't know.
But yeah,
but
so
I'm not interested.
Once again, this has been an incredible show. Thanks for tuning in.
My viewpoints are not the viewpoints of Smoooth Conversations or any of his platforms. It's my viewpoint of my own.
She said it. And when she says something, she
what I said is what I said. Move somewhere else out of the City Foundry or into a bigger space in the Foundry.
Yeah.
With her Jamaican food. Chez Ali is really good.
With her Welch's sparkling ice
my Welch's
in her hand. You know.
It's almost gone.
That's it. And speaking of gone, I think they were gone too. Show that last banner, Sadal, so we can go ahead and let everyone know they can tune in next time. Wrong page, banner. Banners.
That's all right. The dollar's working. This one of those moments where we're not charging into his heart.
Banners. There you go. Very. There we go. So now you show. There we go. Nope. The very last one. Thank you for watching. There it is. So next time he does this, he'll be, that much sharper. I had some practice with him, but hey, it's still my dude as fam, and I appreciate him for holding things down, doing this for me and everything he does with Smoooth Productions. So, by the way, speaking of Smoooth Productions, scan the QR code right now, y'all. Scan it. Everything related to Smoooth Productions. This show, the platform sports talk show for booking, for DJ Smoooth, for Sadal, for Steve Jenks. Everything is right there. Website, telephone number. If you want to send me a tip, Zelle, whatever it is, everything is on the QR code. Anything related to Smoooth Productions is on that QR code. So scan it, share it with the peoples, and tune in to the very next edition of Smoooth Conversations, which will be going down this upcoming Tuesday. More information will be provided very soon. So continue to follow everything that I have going on with Smoooth Productions. Myrina, thank you very much for a great time.
Always.
Sadal, thank you for your assistance,
Bring me back in another 10 years.
Exactly. For being another great producer, adding more stuff to his plate as well, the real estate DJ. Stay tuned for what he's about to do, y'all, in this world. And with that being said, Smoooth Conversations. Shouts out to my co-host who couldn't be on, but she'll be back next month, Countess Danielle, doing great things as well. She's a mom. She has a couple kids. She's a wifey as well. And just shouts out to everyone showing love, and stay tuned to the next edition of Smoooth Conversations. Y'all have a great rest of your evening. We out this thing.